Me dio la chiripiorca. Hola, en la clase de hoy, en nuestra clase de español de hoy, vamos a hablar de esta combinación de palabras. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Y ¿por qué? Now maybe you say, it's all the same. So why are you teaching us the same thing in 4 different ways? I say, it's not the same. Might be the same, might look the same, but it's not the same. Parece igual, se ve igual, pero no es lo mismo. Same, but different. Muy bien. We're going to talk about por qué because there are different combinations. It has to do with the space between por and qué, and it has to do with the accent mark in the I. ¿Por qué? Without space, without accent mark. Sin espacio y sin acento. Por espacio qué, sin acento. Con espacio, with space, con espacio, sin acento, without accent. ¿Por qué? No space, sin espacio, con acento. With accent, no space. And finally, la última, por espacio que con acento. Now, let me tell you first. Déjame decirte un secreto. Déjame decirte un secreto de esta palabra en español. From all these, the most popular might be this one, the last one. That's the reason I left it for the last. So you stay around. It's a trick. Muy bien. ¿Por qué? That's the most common, the one that you'll hear the most, the one that you'll write the most, the one that most native speakers will use the most incorrectly sometimes. Muy bien. This is, as we're going to say, very unpopular, and there's a reason for it. Stick around and you'll know. This is a tricky one. This is a tricky. And this is a simple. So we go from simple to more interesting. This is the most like aburrida, like, oh yeah, whatever. I know that word. Muy bien. ¿Por qué? Now this is, let's say, a word that is going to give you the cause. So you're going to have, let's say, 2 sentences, and you're going to use the one without the space and without accent mark when you're giving the cause. Like, for example, a good equivalent en inglés, un equivalente en inglés sería because or since. Vamos a ver un ejemplo, porque con ejemplos se nos queda en la cabeza. Sin ejemplos, estamos perdidos. Lo arrestaron. They arrested him. Lo arrestaron porque encontraron ADN. Let's say, en la escena del crimen, in the crime scene, en la escena del crimen. Lo arrestaron porque encontraron su ADN en la escena del crimen. They arrested him because they found his DNA in the crime scene. Now there is a cause and an effect, right? This is the effect. They arrested him. Why? You would ask this por qué. Why? ¿Por qué? Why did they arrest him? ¿Por qué lo arrestaron? Like that. Porque encontraron ADN en la escena del crimen. Now, this is the effect of this cause. That's what they call it a causal, because it's giving you the cause. For example, me salió un barro. I got a pimple because I ate too much chocolate. Are you going to use this or that? Well, no, because I'm giving you the reason for it. So it's like the one that you do something and there's an effect, cause, effect. Usually the cause is next. It's like effect, cause. That's what you're using because, right? Otherwise, for example, you say, me salió un barro, I got a pimple, me salió un barro porque comí mucho chocolate. because I ate too much chocolate. Now they say that's a myth, that's not a myth, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm just telling you that's the reason for which I got the pimple. Maybe you got one too. Muy bien, muy bien. Ahora vamos a ver. Me mojé el cabello porque estaba lloviendo. I got my hair wet. Me mojé el cabello porque estaba lloviendo. Because it was raining. I am giving a reason. But first, I'm giving the effect of the reason. So that's why I'm going to say because it was raining. Because I ate too much chocolate. Because they found his DNA. Lo arrestaron. Muy bien. So you have an effect and cause. And that's when you want to use it together without, sin el acento. Sin el acento y junto. Sin el acento y junto. Recuerda, sin el acento y junto, efecto, causa. Muy bien. La siguiente es por espacio que sin acento. Por space que without the accent mark. Acento, they also call it tilde, ¿correcto? But I like to say acento. That's how I learned it all my life. And I'm saying this is a tricky one because really, you're going to see that you can use it, but you don't have to. And when you don't have to, that's where you're going to find out whether or not it has a space and an accent mark. Let me tell you why. See, check this out. La razón por, I put this in paréntesis, lo puse entre paréntesis, porque I'm going to skip it. ¿Por qué? Me lo voy a saltar. Oh, I'm using this, right? I skipped it because I put it in parentheses because I'm going to skip it, right? Cause, effect. Okay, there's a reason. La razón por que no te llamé. Now, some people, really, you're saying, okay, the reason for which I didn't call you, or the reason that I didn't call you, right? You're saying that, but a lot of people say it. La razón por que no te llamé. Some people say it, but really what they are trying to say is the reason for which I didn't call you. Muy bien. Por la que no te llamé, es que estaba cansada. I was tired, right? You're saying the reason, and you're kind of repeating this first thing. For which, right? Like for which, like this is the which. Por la que. Now, that's because the reason is a feminine, right? La razón. El artículo es un femenino. La razón. Same here. La calle. The street where I passed, right? Por la que pasé. The street in which I passed or through which I passed. Your house is that I had to drop your milk, right? There is like you're saying the street, feminine too, por la que. The street through which, por la que. The reason for which, por la que. Now, if you want to say, for example, el motivo, the motive. El motivo, it's a masculine, right? So I just wanted to put you this so you'll see it. El motivo por él. Because el motivo es él. El motivo por el que te llamé o el motivo por el que reprobé. You're giving the full subject with article, la razón, la calle, el motivo. You're getting the full subject. You're giving the reason here por la if it's a feminine, por el if it's a negative, if it's a negative, a masculine. Muy bien. So you're going to use this. Now, some people, they don't write this, so that's why they leave the space. That's why there's a space left. But really, to make it clear, or if you're learning Spanish, you may want to put it, right? So you have to remember that you're going to say, la calle por la que, el motivo por el que, el carro, por el que, etc. There is a difference between the cause and an effect, right? Here, I'm starting my sentence not with a subject like la silla or la razón or la cama or la calle or el motivo. I'm starting with a verb, right? I failed the exam because I didn't study, right? I am starting with an action, whereas here I'm starting with a subject. El balón por el que me inclino, the one that I incline for, es azul. You're giving the article and the noun, like the thing, correcto? And then you're using the article that takes this in the middle. So that's where you leave the space and without, because it's not a question. Now, let's go to the third one. Porque. Now, as I said before, this is a very easy one and very not as common. And it has to do because this is actually a noun. For example, you're going to say el porqué. You're generally, when you write it together and with the accent mark, that means you're saying the why. It's the philosophical why, the why of the things, the why of your existence. It's when you're getting in these periods of time, right? Like we get sometimes like, oh, I don't know, this life is this, like I wonder the why of my existence now, right? Es el porqué. So sometimes you want to say, desconozco el porqué de mi existencia. I don't know the why of my existence. You're getting philosophical. Have you ever asked yourself the why of the things? It's like the reason of the things. Have you ever asked yourself the reason of the things? The reason of our existence? The reason of your existence? Have you ever asked yourself? So when you're becoming like that, cuando te estás poniendo filosófico, cuando te estás poniendo muy Platón, entonces tienes que decir el porqué. Usually together with the article, el porqué. Te has preguntado el porqué. El porqué filosófico. Very different to por qué, la interrogación, la pregunta. ¿Por qué? Separate, espacio, acento. ¿Por qué no te bañas? Why don't you take a shower? I'm asking you why, right? I'm not saying the why of the things, the why of my existence. I'm asking you, why don't you take a shower? You stink, apestas. Say, ¿por qué no te bañas? How am I going to write it? Por, espacio, que, con acento. Now, this example I wrote, I said, ¿por qué llegaste tarde? Why did you arrive late? Mi ojo. ¿Por qué llegaste tarde? Why did you arrive late? ¿Por qué llegaste tarde? Ah, no sé, se me hizo tarde, el autobús no pasaba y luego me encontré a Juanita y platicamos y luego me tomé un café y luego bla, 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 bla. ¿Por qué llegaste tarde? Now, that's a question, straightforward a question. Why? It's like in English you would be starting the sentence with why. Why don't you take a shower? Why did you get here late? Why you're in a bad mood? Why are you in a bad mood? Why is your hair blonde? Why did you dye your hair? Why did you get that car? Etc. You're asking a question. So you're starting the sentence with por qué. Now, when it becomes tricky, it's when you, and I think it's in English too, this happens, but especially when you're learning English, right? You tend to take it the Spanish way. So you can say, for example, why did you arrive late? But you can say, I don't know why you always arrive late. You're not really asking. You're giving a fact, a sentence, a complete sentence. You're not asking the person why. You're really saying why, but in a different way, as a fact. No sé, I don't know. No sé por qué siempre llegas tarde. I don't know why you always arrive late. No sé por qué siempre llegas tarde. Or sometimes when you want to say, no sé por qué, I don't know why. No sé por qué. It's the same thing. You're really in here, like, no sé por qué Juan nunca se baña. I don't know why Juan never takes a shower. No sé por qué Juan nunca se baña. No sé por qué Tatiana nunca se baña. You are saying the por qué, but in the middle. It doesn't matter. You're still going to put an accent mark. Now, there is one that is like, I always say this. Ay, ¿por qué está Forgot my eraser, sorry. I would say, why is it raining? ¿Por qué está lloviendo? Right? Like, I'm asking myself, but I'm still starting the question like, ¿por qué está lloviendo? Space and accent mark. So it doesn't matter where the why comes, in the front, let's say, empezando, in the beginning, or in the middle. I don't know why. You're still going to put a space and an accent mark. And that is why I created this lesson for you, because I thought, you just think about cause and effect. You just think about putting el or la or los or las, depending on what is your subject. Sorry for my writing. I'm working on the writing thing, right? Soon I'll be really good at it. So you say por la que, por el que, por los que, por las que. Really, you're substituting in the middle the subject. Muy bien. If the subject is feminine and singular, then you're going to use a feminine and singular. And if your subject is masculine and singular, you're going to use the masculine and singular. And if it's plural, you're going to use los or las. Very well. The porque together with accent is the philosophical one. And the porque is the interrogation one. When you're asking a question or when you're stating a fact, when you're saying why in the middle, en medio. Muy bien. I hope you enjoyed my lesson. If you like my lesson, subscribe to my channel and ring the bell where the square of subscribe is on your screen, and your pretty screen of whatever it is, your mobile or laptop or desktop. There is a bell next to subscribe. Una campana, ting, 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 bell. Click on it so you get notifications when I upload my videos. Otherwise, you'll miss them, and that will be very sad. Very well then. We'll see each other soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter. And don't forget to check out my website, butterflyspanish.com, to see all the announcements I make. And also don't forget to donate so I can keep making more videos and you can keep learning Spanish. Thank you so much for donating. Thank you so much if you do not donate for watching my videos. And I'll see you very soon. Nos vemos pronto. Que la pases bien. Duerme bien. Come bien. Toma mucha agua. Mantente hidratado. Y te mando un gran abrazo. Adiós.